Update on the Chicago Bears head coaching search. So far, the Bears have already conducted at least 13 interviews, and they plan on doing much more. Today, I wanted to quickly run through which candidates have interviewed, which ones were in person, which ones were Zoom meetings, and who do I expect to get second interviews, as well as guys who still have interviews scheduled. Let's get right into it. First, let's go over the coaches that have already interviewed. So far, 13 coaches have already spoken to the Bears, starting with Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll, Drew Petzing, Anthony Weaver, Mike Kafka, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Ron Rivera, Thomas Brown, David Shaw, Mike McCarthy, and Arthur Smith. It's important to note that most of these were Zoom interviews, although Ron Rivera and Mike McCarthy were both flown into Hallis Hall. The Bears most likely would love to meet with Ben Johnson and some others at Hallis Hall as well, but they can't do that until those team seasons are over. Also, there are some other interviews still planned, such as Brian Flores, Todd Monken, Joe Brady, Cliff Kingsbury, Matt Campbell, Adam Stenovich, and maybe even Marcus Freeman. Most of these coaches are still in the playoffs. Flores, Matt Campbell, and Stenovich could interview this week, as the Packers and Vikings both lost last week, and Iowa State's season is over as well. Flores' interview is already scheduled, but no details on when yet, but probably over the next few days. With Marcus Freeman, the Bears do want to interview him, but the championship game is coming up Monday, and we'll have to wait until at least after that to find out. No idea if we'll actually get to interview him or not. The rest of these guys have playoff games coming up this weekend. Cliff Kingsbury and the Commanders against Ben Johnson and the Lions is a must watch game for Bears fans, if you ask me. Those are two of my favorite coaching candidates going head to head in a playoff matchup. It'll also be interesting to see how Aaron Glenn and the Lions defense counters Cliff Kingsbury and that Jaden Daniels led offense. Should be fun to watch. But also, there's another game too. Joe Brady and the Bills against Todd Monken and the Ravens. I expect a lot of fireworks in both of these games, and it should be really fun to watch as Bears fans. But back to the coaching search, I do think it's relevant that we flew Mike McCarthy in for an interview. I wouldn't go as far to label him the favorite or anything yet, but if you're narrowing down the list or making a short list, Mike McCarthy's name might need to be included. I do think that's important to note going forward. I don't know if Ron Rivera would make that same short list or not. I do, however, think Ben Johnson makes that list no matter what. The biggest worry right now with Johnson is if the Lions go to the Super Bowl, are the Bears willing to wait that long to hire the next head coach? That is the biggest question, and history suggests unless things are different in the front office, we usually are not willing to wait until after the Super Bowl. I made a video talking about that subject yesterday. Check that out if you missed it, and give me your thoughts on the Bears coaching search. Who is your favorite candidate, and who is the guy you do not want the Bears to hire? Stay tuned. Remember to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.